Next, from Shea Stadium in New York, it's ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Tonight, it's the Montreal Expos and star outfielder Moises Alou taking on the New York Mets and slugger Bobby Bonilla. It's the ESPN Sunday Night Game of the Week. Felipe Alou. His offense statistically middle of the pack in the National League with the exception of home runs. They're third with 22 as a team in only 17 games. And his lineup tonight, a big part of the success of the offense has been the leadoff hitter, Tony Tarasco, the right fielder. Will Cordero is at shortstop. Roberto Kelly is in center field. The cleanup hitter, Moises Alou, in left field. The catcher, Darren Fletcher, bats fifth. Batting sixth and playing first base, Cliff Floyd. Mike Lansing, the offensive star of this series, the second baseman, batting seventh. Sean Berry gets the start at third base tonight, and Butch Henry, the pitcher, will bat ninth. An overcast and cool night here in New York, with the chance of some showers here tonight. There's been rain along the East Coast today, and we have a 45% chance of rain at Shea tonight. Temperature at game time 56 degrees, and the breeze not much of a factor at the moment, blowing out toward left field. And a very sparse crowd here, as you can see, with the exception of a couple of dollar days when the Mets drew big crowds here. They've been averaging in the neighborhood of 12 or 13,000. May not reach that tonight. Charlie Williams, the home plate umpire. Greg Monet at first. John McSherry at second, and Ed Montague as the plays at third. Saberhagen admittedly showed up to spring training not in the best of shape. That's the reason he was not the New York Mets opening day starter, and Dallas Green thinks that he is just now pitching himself into regular season shape. And the defense behind him, and the man on the move these days for New York is Bobby Bonilla, bouncing all over the field, and tonight playing third base.
Well, Bobby Bonilla is a man, as you mentioned, bouncing around simply because they have a young player there, that Eduardo Alfonso, that they think is going to be a great player, and he's a third baseman. So they want Bobby Bonilla to move around and give him an opportunity to play. But Bobby Bonilla, as I've always said, is a complete team player. When he was in Pittsburgh, he would move around to help the team. And here's a star that's been around for a long period of time, and he's still willing to move. So I think that's important. And that's, again, the attitude change, I think, here in New York.
And Edgardo Alfonso is not in the starting lineup tonight for Dallas Green, but he really likes the 21-year-old. And rosters will shrink after tomorrow night's games. But it seems a safe bet that Alfonso will be on the roster, and if he stays at that age, you'd expect that he'd play regularly, probably at third base. That likely means Bonilla goes back to the outfield. They're ready to go. Saberhagen pitching in the short sleeves tonight on this chilly night. John McSherry, the crew chief, indicated at both benches that the pitchers can blow on their hands tonight. And here's Tony Tarasco, third in the National League in hitting at the moment at .415. He's been up 53 times with 22 hits, including 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. And Shea Stadium is right in the flight pattern tonight for nearby LaGuardia Airport. Plane roaring overhead. That's up in the air.
I got it.
And Vizcaíno, the shortstop, caught it right in front of the left fielder Ricky Otero. 1 pitch and 1 out in the top of the first.
Well, one thing about Brett Saberhagen, he normally throws a lot of strikes. He likes to get ahead of the hitters. And you may see these Montreal Expos swinging at a lot of first pitch fastballs tonight to keep him from getting ahead.
Now Will Cordero, the shortstop, hitting .271. 19 hits in 70 at bats, including 1 homer. And Will has knocked in 8. Saberhagen starts him with a fastball for strike 1.
One of these days, Sean, this kid, in my opinion, is going to be a great shortstop. He's got all the qualities of a great shortstop in a very live bat. He may be able to hit a little better than you'd even expect from a shortstop.
Broke his bat, and Saberhagen throws him out.
And as soon as I say that, he gets jammed.
Well, there was talk because of his offensive skills that he might be the number 3 or 4 hitter this year, but for the most part he's been in the number 2 spot.
Well, this was a fastball, that sinking fastball that turns over inside on the right-hander from Saberhagen and jammed Cordero. I think Cordero is going to be an excellent shortstop. I really believe that.
3 pitches and 2 outs for Saberhagen. He works to Roberto Kelly. Fouled back just below us. Roberto is hitting .262 in his first year with Montreal. A homer and 6 runs batted in.
He has moved around a lot, and people say, well, how good a player is if he keeps moving around? Well, that means a lot of teams keep wanting him in deals, and they did want him here in Montreal because he does run well. He adds something to their ball club, and I think a guy like Roberto Kelly, who has had some success in the major leagues, will always be a valuable commodity.
We have the Jugs gun here tonight, and you see that Saberhagen's throwing hard in the first inning. That's the second time in the inning his fastballs reach 93 miles per hour. 2 outs, base is empty. No score, top of the first. Brett Saberhagen looking for his first win of the season. It's down to third. Bonilla, strong throw. And a 1-2-3 inning on 7 pitches, 6 of them strikes from Saberhagen. After a half inning in New York, no score.
Niagara Falls, the ultimate torture test for a deck. The ultimate protection, Thompson's Water Seal, chosen to protect the most water-drenched decks in America. The decks at Niagara Falls. Thompson's Water Seal, the most powerful protection against water damage, guaranteed.
They say a man should always dress for the job he wants. So why am I dressed up like a pirate in this restaurant? It's all because some hacker stole my identity. Now I'm in here every evening serving chowder and iced tea. Should have gone to freecreditreport.com. I could have seen this coming at me like an atom bomb. They monitor your credit and send you email alerts, so you don't end up selling fish to tourists in t-shirts.
Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
Who does she think she's kidding? You know what she's been doing in Miami. You sit here, staring at a cement wall, alone, and she has the gall to just show up 3 days later, toss her bag in the back, and pretend she doesn't smell like new car. She was with a Prius hybrid. Oh, so now suddenly she's an environmentalist.
With dozens of the hottest cars to choose from, there's a reason Avis is your other car.
This is you after an energy drink. Unfortunately, so is this. Why do energy drinks make you crash? 1 minute you're wired up, the next you feel worse than before. The answer is large amounts of sugar and caffeine. That's why you should try a new liquid energy shot called 5-Hour Energy. With 5-Hour Energy, you can leave grogginess behind and sail through your day without feeling jittery, tense, or, you know. That's because 5-Hour Energy contains a powerful blend of B vitamins for energy and amino acids for focus, alertness, and better mood. There's 0 sugar, about as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, and only 4 calories. The 2-ounce shot takes just seconds to drink, and in minutes you're feeling bright, awake, and productive. And that feeling lasts for hours. So if your energy drink makes you crash, switch to 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. Find out if 5-Hour Energy is right for you. It's available at these fine stores. Or for more information, go to 5hourenergy.com.
Modern rivalries, non-stop action, and the champs who always deliver. From the Showtime archives, Championship Boxing, Thursdays at 8 on ESPN Classic.
The Expos went in order in the top of the first. New York getting ready to come to bat for the first time tonight for manager Dallas Green. The offense, middle of the pack in terms of batting average, 5 runs a game. Early in the season, that's only good enough for a tie for 10th, and the Mets have hit 19 home runs. Tonight, Dallas Green has Brett Butler leading off and playing center field. Jose Vizcaíno is the shortstop. Rico Bronya gets the start at first base. Bobby Bonilla, the third baseman, is the cleanup hitter. Jeff Kent at second base. Todd Hundley is the catcher hitting 6th. Carl Everett is in right field. Ricky Otero, the left fielder, and Brett Saberhagen will bat ninth against Butch Henry.
And let's take a look at Butch Henry, the left-hander. Throws a fastball. There's his record, 3 starts, 0-2. He throws a fastball and a good changeup. And to gauge how well he's throwing tonight, we'll see how well he comes inside. He likes to keep the hitters off balance by going inside with the fastball and then throwing changeups out over the plate.
And Brett Butler leads off. He's 7th in the league in hitting at .389. And as usual, the solid on-base percentage for the 14-year veteran was driven in 3 runs.
John, Brett is the reason that I feel like the Mets are going to have a good season, because he will be on base. And that's one of the problems they've had the last couple of years.
First pitch from Henry, slapped to short, and Cordero a high throw, safe at first. The indication from first base umpire Greg Bonet was that Cliff Floyd was off the bag and not that Butler had beat the throw. He indicated that Floyd was not on the base.
Well, Cordero has had a few problems throwing lately. Watch, he throws this kind of sidearm, and for this deep in the hole, he should get up on top. Watch, see how he kind of slings it? That makes it rise, and that's why the throw was high. And we'll take a look. Very close play there at first base, but Greg Bonet is closer to it than we are. He said he was off the bag. How they score that?
They scored an error on Cordero, his 6th of the year, and this is only his 18th game. Now the shortstop, Vizcaíno, he waits as Butler drew a throw. Brett has 1 stolen base and has been thrown out once. Henry again to first. .504 career steals for Butler. And Vizcaíno showed bunt and took a ball up and away. Jose's hitting .254 with a home run, 7 runs batted in. He's 15 for 59 this year. Henry's 26 years old, from El Paso, Texas. 6'1", 205 pounds. Vizcaíno bunts. Henry to Floyd. It's a sacrifice, and Butler is in scoring position with 1 out. The defense for Montreal has already been a factor in this game. Cordero made the error.
And you'll take a look at Moises Alou. Normally the right fielder is playing left field. Tarasco usually plays left. Alou is playing in left field today because he has a tender arm, and the throw is a lot less taxing from left field than it is throwing from right field. So that's why he's in left tonight, and Tarasco's over in right.
It's been an active weekend for Moises. He was in center field yesterday. Rico Bronya, the batter, getting a rare start against a left-handed pitcher, batting .356. He took a ball. Rico's been up 45 times with 16 hits, including 3 homers and 8 runs batted in. Out of play to the left. That pitch 85 miles per hour from Henry.
I think Henry will vary between 80 and 85 and 88 miles an hour. I don't think he'll get above 90. If he can stay around the 88 mile an hour range, he will be happy.
Doesn't play very much against left-handed pitchers. Dallas Green gave a chance tonight against Henry, who's not a particularly hard thrower. Only 29 at bats against left-handers, but at least in the limited statistical pool, the numbers would indicate he deserves a longer look against southpaws. The 2-1 to him is pulled foul down past big Frank Howard in the first base coach's box.
Frank. Sean, you mentioned the fact that he's hit well against left-handers. What happens in baseball, as you well know, is someone may have seen him hitting against a tough left-hander, struck out a couple of times, and they say, well, he doesn't hit left-handers well, so he doesn't get the opportunity to try. I don't think anyone's born hitting left-handers if you're a left-handed hitter. You have to work your way into it and learn how to handle them. You have to get at bats against left-handers to be able to do that.
On the ground to second, Mike Lansing throws him out for the second out of the inning. On the play, Butler moves to third with 2 down and no score in the bottom of the first.
And there you see Butch Henry at his best. He kept the fastball in on Bronya, threw him a curveball away just to keep him honest, and then came back inside with a sinker. And that's what you will see him do to all hitters, not just to left-handed hitters. He will stay in on the right-handers as well.
Now the hottest New York hitter, Bobby Bonilla, who's hit safely in 11 games in a row to raise his average to 355, 5th best in the National League.
And I think he's a much better right-handed hitter, Sean, simply because he stays in the middle of the diamond. He will hit some line drives to right center and left center. From the left side, he seems like he wants to hit the scoreboard all the time. He takes that big, long swing.
This year he's definitely been a better hitter right-handed. 464 from the right. And that's a smash to deep center. Roberto Kelly on the run makes the catch on the edge of the warning track. And that ends the inning. After 1 at Shea Stadium in New York. No score.
With over 1 billion movies delivered so far, and never a late fee, grab a seat. It's movie time. Netflix.
This is when one team can become part of history. This is when one team has a chance to be remembered.
The NBA playoffs. Coverage continues Thursday on ESPN.
Tonight on ESPN Classic, at 8, can Gregorio Peralta go the distance with Big George Foreman? Watch what happens in the surprising heavyweight bout from 1970. And at 9, sports best Cinderella stories. See who's number 1. It's all tonight on ESPN Classic.
Growing up, the Boys and Girls Club was a safe place where I was taught important lessons, like being part of a team. Teammates learn to play together, work together, and stick together. Major League Baseball and Boys and Girls Clubs of America understand the importance for kids to have a safe place to learn and grow. Teamwork is what made us World Series champions.
And the White Sox have won the World Series.
Major League Baseball is a proud sponsor of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Life for Chris, 47, is his wife, Ellen, their daughter, Julie, and their son, James. Chris is a contractor. Ellen works for a home developer. They had some life insurance, but knew it couldn't cover the family's expenses if something happened to either of them. Then, within a month, 2 friends died. No life insurance. Chris got the message. A friend said, call SelectQuote. They comparison shop the highly rated term life insurance companies they represent and save you plenty. Chris called and was delighted to learn he could get a $350,000 policy for under $27 a month. Ellen could get a $250,000 policy for under $18 a month. Life is too precious not to protect. Call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
During the last half inning, we spoke of Carlos Perez, the 23-year-old rookie, younger brother of Bolito and Pascual. This was his first Major League start on Thursday against Philadelphia at the Vet. And watch love the body language. Some pictures need no caption.
And he pitched himself out of a bases-loaded jam here. No out. Strikes out 3 hitters. Now, see, that doesn't bother me. You know, you get hitters, you know, like his brother Pasquale, they pointed at the hitter when they struck him out. That bothers the hitters. This guy is just having fun out there. He's just doing his thing. He's not making light of anyone.
And you saw his solid line. And earning his first major league win in his first start. He has pitched 4 times in relief prior to getting that start.
He might be worth flying up to Montreal on Tuesday to watch that game.
That's right. He'll pitch against Cincinnati on Tuesday night at Olympic Stadium. This is Jose Vizcaíno, sacrificed at first, facing Butch Henry, who was not allowed to hit or issued a walk through 3 innings. Vizcaíno, then Bronya and Bonilla against the Expos southpaw. Mentioned that Henry has faced the Mets once previously this season. One of his first 3 starts was against New York. He got no decision in a 5-1 Montreal loss. Lansing threw out Vizcaíno.
All right, son, keep hustling now.
First baseman, number 26.
Dallas Green has decided he's going to give Rico Bronya a few weeks to see if he can hit left-handed pitchers. This is how he was pitched in the first inning. Everything in, fastball in. Now watch, another fastball in, he gets the ground ball. That's pretty good pitching. That's not any reflection on Bronya. That was just good pitching there by Butch Henry. He did not give him any good pitches to hit, kept everything down.
Bronya looked at a ball high. He's been a very consistent hitter since coming to the big leagues last year with the Mets. Started out 0 for his first 7 upon joining the Mets last year, and then hit .371 the rest of the way, at a 15-game hitting streak during that stretch. And this season, off to the .348 start with his 0 for 1 tonight. In the air in center field, not very deep.
But another good pitch there by Henry. Bronya pulled his arms in to try to get to that fastball. Again, it was inside.
Third baseman,
so he is staying in on top of Bronya.
Bronya was an outstanding football player when he was in high school. Very heavily recruited by nearly 300 schools as a quarterback.
And you can see how far Darren Fletcher's inside. See, that pitch is way inside. Good pitching by Butch Henry. He is not allowing Bronya to extend his arms out over the plate. And if you're a left-handed hitter, you like to be able to extend your arms on left-handed pitching.
Bobby Bonilla is the batter, and he looked at ball 1. Bobby flied to center, ending the first. We're in the 4th, no score. Dribble down the line to Sean Berry. And the Mets go very quickly in order again. They're still without a hit after 4, and there is still no score.
Excuse me. A1 on a burger?
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Could I borrow that?
Sure.
Thank you.
With, an unassuming word that holds so much meaning. The moment you add with, a bond is created. I'm with Child. She's with me. We're with the band. Our financial advisors champion with, because we're fully invested in your success. Search for those who value with. We did. A.G. Edwards is now with Wachovia Securities. Let's see what with can do for you.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you? Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while. And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right? Yeah. So how can I know I'm getting a good deal? We can compare your Progressive Direct rate with other top companies. Wow. Seriously? Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him. That's a new pair of shoes. Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com.
Honey, what's all this?
The insurance?
Progressive motorcycle insurance.
Yeah.
RV insurance?
Uh-huh.
Boat insurance. But we don't have any of those things.
Well, actually, I do. We do. We do.
Surprise! Let's bag these up.
Saving you money so you can buy more toys. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Fletcher to lead off. Then Mike Lansing, Cliff Floyd against Brett Saberhagen. Fletcher was called out on strikes in the second.
Sean, I think the Montreal Expos are a very unique organization. A lot of people only know them because they've traded away good players and had to get rid of a lot of good players over the last few years. But I think it's important to understand how they got to that point. You know, in 1989, Charles Brofman was the owner. That's Kevin Malone. We'll get to him in a second. But at that time, they traded Randy Johnson. A lot of people don't remember Randy Johnson to the Seattle Mariners.
There's a hit deal against Langston. Left center field. Second hit of the ball game. Both belong to Montreal.
Yeah, to get Langston there, and that didn't work out. They thought they had a chance, and Brofman made a decision at that time. Said, we're not going to go after free agents like this anymore. We're not going to get the best ones here in Montreal. Let's develop from within. And they have done a fantastic job of developing players. You know, they brought Walker and Grissom, two of the players they had to lose. They brought them up. They bring up a steady stream of good young players. And now Kevin Malone has taken up the slack, and he's now the general manager. And he has done a good job of bringing these players along. And I remember one of my favorite quotes is from Kevin Malone. He said, I'd rather have good players than to have the money to buy them. And I thought that was very interesting. I mean, really kind of food for thought there. I mean, would you rather have the money to go shopping, or would you rather have them in your existence? And he thinks that you're better off having the players. So I thought that was a very good quote from him.
Well, he'd probably like to have the money to keep them
right
once they reach free agent status. Runner at first and nobody out in the fifth. No score. 1-1 the count on Lansing, who walked his first time up. I spoke with Kevin Malone before the game. He said the Expos have 3 arbitration cases pending with Jeff Facero, Moises Alou,
and Mel
Rojas. He said if they lose all 3, and they'll all be completed by the end of June, their payroll will be at about $15 million for this season. And they're only really responsible for about 13.5 of that because they got some money from Atlanta with Roberto Kelly. Said if they win the arbitration cases or can sign these players to long-term contracts, which is what they really want to do, their payroll might be as low as $12.5 million this year. What a club they have for anywhere between 12 and 15 million.
And but I think the interesting part, or the pertinent part now, is what will they do in 3 years from now? Because, you know, when you send people arbitration 3 years later, Moises Alou can become a free agent. So how do you handle that in between? I think they need to sign Moises Alou, if no one else.
And they're trying to do that. 3-2 the count.
It's a curveball from Saberhagen, and it just gets away, and it hangs over the outside part of his brim.
Fletcher was running on the 3-2 pitch, was pulled foul and out of play. There have been reports that Montreal's original offer to Alou was a 3-year deal, $10.5 million, and that was quickly dismissed by Moises and his agent Jim Bronner, who also represents Larry Walker, now departed Montreal City. And the breaking ball missed inside. It probably isn't where Saberhagen meant to throw that pitch. He walks Lansing for the second time. And the Expos have the first 2 men on in the fifth.
That pitch surprises me in that he threw him a 3-2 breaking ball, and you can see it does hang inside. You see Todd Hundley try to pull it in, but you normally in that situation Saberhagen would go with his fastball and try to spot it because he doesn't want to walk hitters.
Cliff Floyd the batter. Down the line, Bronya goes to second to Vizcaíno for the only out they'll get on this play. They eliminate Lance 3-6, and on to third goes Fletcher, safe at first with 1 out. On a fielder's choice is Cliff Floyd.
Number 5, Sean Berry.
Oh, he starts Floyd off with a fastball in, and he jams him, and he hits it down to the first baseman. This is really a good play by Bronya. Makes sure he gets down in front of it and takes the one. What that does is keeps the double play in order. They didn't have a chance to double up Floyd at first base. He runs very quickly down the line.
Sean Berry is the batter. He bounced the third, in the third. And Saberhagen starts him with a strike. Kevin Malone gave a lot of the credit to the scouts. He said the way you find these players and develop them, the scouts have to go out and find them, and he thinks that much of the Montreal success is because they have a tremendous scouting staff. Of course, they've had 3 of the brightest young administrators in the game as well in Malone, now the GM. He took over for Dan Duquette, who's gone on to Boston and very quickly put his fingerprints on that organization. Of course, Dave Dombrowski has gone to Florida. Little lob down the left field line. That could be a big problem for the Mets. Otero made a great diving catch. And tagging and coming on to score is Fletcher, but what a play by Otero on a fair ball along the left field line. The Expos lead 1-0.
He got a great jump on the ball, which is unusual because when a guy makes a big swing and he gets jammed, it's very difficult for the outfielder to get a good jump. So he gets jammed with a big swing. You usually have the tendency to start back. Otero got a great jump. Now watch this all-out dive. The ball was about 5 feet fair. He comes up with it. That's an excellent play. And maybe that's where it helps to be a left-handed left fielder.
Ricky Otero with a terrific play. Might help Saberhagen get out of this inning cheaply. He's only allowed 1 run. Now a runner at first and 2 down. The pitcher, Butch Henry, is the batter. 1 ball and 1 strike on Butch, who was called out on strikes in the third. Talking with Kevin Malone about the process of player development, he said now that you had to call so many people up and bring them through your system quickly, you still have more prospects. He said, well, right now at AAA we have 2 outstanding outfield prospects, including Curtis Pride, who folks have heard about. He says on their AA team in Harrisburg, they have 7 legitimate power pitchers on that staff. 7. And Henry is called out. That ends the inning. But the scoreless tie is broken. It's 1-0. Might have been worse for New York were it not for the heroics of Otero.
Inside those headphones is something familiar, a battery. And if you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When even the firefighters have to get out, fire departments all over the world now depend on the T-Pass 3 communicator. And packed inside is the only battery T-Pass trusts, Duracell. So whether it's music to your ears or the signal that could save you, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
This is you after an energy drink. Unfortunately, so is this. Why do energy drinks make you crash? 1 minute you're wired up, the next you feel worse than before. The answer is large amounts of sugar and caffeine. That's why you should try a new liquid energy shot called 5-Hour Energy. With 5-Hour Energy, you can leave grogginess behind and sail through your day without feeling jittery, tense, or, you know. That's because 5-Hour Energy contains a powerful blend of B vitamins for energy and amino acids for focus, alertness, and better mood. There's 0 sugar, about as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, and only 4 calories. The 2-ounce shot takes just seconds to drink, and in minutes you're feeling bright, awake, and productive. And that feeling lasts for hours. So if your energy drink makes you crash, switch to 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. Find out if 5-Hour Energy is right for you. It's available at these fine stores. Or for more information, go to 5hourenergy.com.
Second stoplight. There we go. Let's go, let's go! What the?
Things change fast when you're not looking.
Where am I?
Same with your credit. Keep an eye on yours all year long at TrueCredit.com. Log on now and get instant, unlimited access to all 3 of your credit reports and scores. Where are you headed?
On the next E60, meet the knockout who's fought her way into the mixed martial arts spotlight.
Fighting is raw, and that's why I love it.
Then he thrives on the court, despite the issues facing his family off it.
They were trying to decide where they wanted to have me murdered.
And football in prison. Imagine Michael Vick on this team. Plus, we'll take you behind the scenes as NBA MVP Kobe Bryant teams up with Spike Lee. An all-new E60, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
It wasn't until he faced death that he had the greatest season of his life. Robert De Niro in Real Classics Bang the Drum Slowly, 8 Eastern Sunday on ESPN Classic.
These pitchers have been getting their first serve in. A lot of first pitch strikes tonight. And Butler is up there to lead off against Tim Scott. Butler's 0 for 3, reached on an error in the first. He swings away at the first pitch. And Lansing throws him out.
Well, I think Butler's been sitting over there watching how tough it is for these left-handers to handle Scott. And he says, I'm going to get this first fastball and hit it. And that's, you know, you asked the question about sending the right-hander up there. Maybe we'll get a chance to see him against the right-hander before the evening's over. But he has retired 3 left-handers that he has faced.
And Vizcaíno is a switch hitter, moves around to bat from the left side. Except statistically, the way Scott's career has gone, that might be a mistake.
It's one of the things I've always wondered about as far as switch hitting is concerned. There are times you're swinging the bat better from one side than the other.
There's a hit heading toward the corner. Tarasco over to plate. It'll be at least 2 for Vizcaíno. He's heading for third and will get there with ease. Time run at third with 1 out in the 8th for New York.
The pitch did not appear to be the fastball that he has been throwing to all the other left-handers.
First baseman, number 26.
Well, take a look at this pitch. It's supposed to be down. It's not. It's a breaking ball. This is a curveball, and Vizcaíno rips it down the right field line over the head of Cliff Floyd. And by the time Tarasco is able to dig it out of the corner, Vizcaíno has a triple. Should have stayed with the fastball.
His first triple of the season, 9th of his career, infield in. Bronya, big swing and a miss. Time run at third with 1 out. Mets have left 5 men in scoring position. Virtually every base runner they've had tonight has been left in scoring position. Well hit, right center. Tarasco at the wall, home run. Two-run homer, 4th of the year for Rico Bronya, and the Mets lead 2-1.
The pitch to Bronya is a mistake. I think the mistake was made throwing the breaking ball to Vizcaíno, who couldn't probably handle his fastball. Once you get in trouble, you've got to go at your best pitch. And this is a fastball. This one's not up where he wanted it, but Bronya hits it up and out of the ballpark.
And Bonilla fouled the first pitch away. That fastball Bronya hit was 92 miles per hour. He deposited it over the right center field fence. Now the Mets get John Franco up in their bullpen with the 9th inning upcoming. They'll take a lead into the 9th. And the Expos have the meat of their order. Batters 3, 4, and 5 due up in the 9th, probably against Franco, Kelly, Alou, and Fletcher. It up in shallow left. And stumbling was Alou. He managed to stay on his feet to make the catch for the second out. Rico Brogna, the hero, and we'll watch the home run and the reaction of his skipper, Dallas Green.
Second baseman, number 12, Jeff Kent.
So that's why I played that kid.
That's right. And the whole new attitude, we talked about this earlier, around this Mets team. The last couple of years, not only have they not been very good, but they've been bad on the field and kind of ugly off the field as well. And they made a conscious effort under Green and Joe McIlvaine to weed out some of the problems, and a much better atmosphere around this team and clubhouse. Jeff Kent is the batter. The two starting pitchers, Henry and Saberhagen, pitched well, but neither will be involved in the decision. The pitchers of record are Gunderson and Scott. Mets lead 2-1. They're now out hitting Montreal 5-4. Kent 1 for 3. He singled to left last inning. 75-mile-per-hour curveball missed. Two balls and a strike. Shot down line, foul. Evening account at 2-2. Brogna, 24 years old, from Connecticut. And boy, the Tigers haven't developed many of their own players in recent years. They've done a horrible job. If Montreal is the example of the organization that's been best in recent years at developing players, Detroit's probably the worst.
Yes.
Brogna was a first-round pick of Detroit, only 24 years old. He's not in the organization anymore, and he looks like he has a bright future. Kent called out on strikes. That ends the inning. Rico Brogna, the man in the spotlight of the moment, his two-run homer has given the Mets a 2-1 lead, which they take into the ninth.
Today we're observing the Geico gecko, an extraordinary creature with a most curious adaptation. The ability to save people hundreds of dollars on their car insurance. Let's watch.
That's odd. Whoa.
Fascinating.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Thursday is fight night. Modern rivalries, non-stop action, and the champs who always deliver. From the Showtime archives.
He's going in for the finish. He's over.
Championship boxing. Thursdays at 8, only on ESPN Classic.
Tonight on ESPN Classic, at 8, can Gregorio Peralta go the distance with Big George Foreman? Watch what happens in the surprising heavyweight bout from 1970. And at 9, sports best Cinderella stories. See who's number one. It's all tonight on ESPN Classic.
So much good can come from a game. When I was younger, I was part of RBI, involving baseball in inner cities. It brings kids together, builds confidence, and creates opportunity. And a great program. Major League Baseball proudly supports RBI.
1, 2, 3, RBI!
If you're looking at a home security system, or even if you already have one, ADT can give you so much more. Like our new keychain remote. Now you can easily arm and disarm your system with the touch of a button. Even turn on your lights. You can also count on fast alarm response from our advanced network of monitoring centers. Plus, great local service. ADT's exclusive theft protection guarantee and a money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. And you can get all this and more for as little as $1 a day. A single ADT system can help protect your home from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. When an alarm is received, ADT can respond quickly, calling local authorities for help. You can even add new technology like Safe Watch Video View. Now you can know what's happening in your home by actually seeing it on your cell phone, computer, or TV. Even if you already have a security system, it's easy to add ADT monitoring. Call now and save over $250 when you buy ADT's family package.
It's peace of mind that can also save your life.
ADT, always there.
The Mets lead for the first time tonight, 2-1 after the home run by Bronya, a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th. And a play that should not be forgotten in this game. Back in the 5th inning, it was the play on which the Expos scored their only run to this point, the sacrifice fly by Berry. But what a great catch by Ricky Otero, and that prevented it from being a much bigger inning for Montreal. They still have only the 1 run, and then this homer gave New York the lead.
I want to make a point about Rico Bronya as well. And the point is, sure, he did not get any hits against the left-hander. He was 0 for 3 against the left-hander. But if he would have not played and been in the flow of the game and sent up the pinch hit, it's more likely than not he would not have hit the ball out of the ballpark. It's very difficult to come off the bench and pinch hit a home run, but you're in the flow of the game. He had 3 at-bats already. He was, ready to hit. So I think that maybe if he's one of your better hitters, even if he doesn't hit left-handers as well as you'd like, you still should keep him in the lineup.
John Franco on to try to save it. He has 4 saves already. He has 4 saves, and the Mets have only won 6 games, so they'll try to make it 5 out of 7 and try to save it for Eric Gunderson.
Well, John Franco has always been one of the better stoppers in the league, and the reason is because he has a great sinker and he keeps the ball down. Most stoppers have to have one dominant pitch, and his dominant pitch is the good sinker.
And he'll have to earn it going against the iron of the order for Montreal in the 9th. Kelly, Alou, and Fletcher coming up for the Expos. 2 runs on 5 hits. No errors for the Mets. A run, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Montreal. Mets trying to earn their first win in this series. 4th and final game of this set tomorrow night here at Shea.
One thing that Franco has going for him here is Kelly and Moises Alou, both of them pretty much free swingers. And Franco will not throw you a strike unless you make him. He will start the ball in the strike zone, it sinks out, and a lot of hitters swing at a lot of pitches in the dirt.
Kelly swung at the first pitch. He hit a grass cutter to short. And a strong throw by Vizcaino got Kelly on a very close play. 1 out on 1 pitch in the 9th.
And that pitch was a ball. It was like it started in the strike zone and then it sunk down. Good play there by Vizcaino. It's a very difficult play to get that ball in the hole. Now watch the difference between he and Cordero. He straightens up, comes over the top, and gets something on the ball. And that's the only way he was able to retire Roberto Kelly. Good play there by Vizcaino.
Moises Alou checked his swing. They wanted appeal. Strike, says Greg Bonin. Alou 1 for 3 at first, or rather a second inning single. 2 left. Fouled off the body of Alou. He snaps at the bat as he has fallen behind 0-2.
And Franco has thrown 3 pitches and he has not thrown a strike yet. You have to say to yourself, we're looking at Rondell White, who will pinch hit for Darren Fletcher. When you walk up to hit against Franco, you have to say to yourself, the ball has to start belt high or I'm not going to swing. Because he will not throw you a strike unless you make it. And 3 pitches, and they've swung at all 3.
Scott would be the losing pitcher. The first pitch Franco's thrown, the Expos hitters did not swing at. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alou. Slowly to short again. Vizcaino will have to hurry. Double pop. Save at first. That little hitch cost him. Alou runs well and he hustled all the way. And he is at first, representing the tying run with 1 out in the 9th inning.
In this day and age, you see a lot of shortstops playing so deep. See how deep he is, and he waits on this ball. And when you have any kind of a hitch or anything goes wrong, you're not going to get the fleet runners going down the line. He's just so deep that it's a very difficult throw. And we saw that also with Roberto Kelly. It's a very difficult throw when you play that deep.
And Lou is coming off the field toward the dugout. And there will be a runner for him. Lou Frazier is coming in as a pinch runner.
And last year when I talked to Moises Alou, he said he was about 90% back on his his broken ankle that he's had before, and he looks to be running very well now. So he's probably getting better each year.
Frazier can run. Back in 1988 in the minor leagues, he had 87 stolen bases. Recently, as 1992 with London in Double-A ball, he stole 58 in limited playing time last year for Montreal. He had 20 stolen bases. Franco trying to save it for Eric Gunderson. Tying run at first. Pinch runner Lou Frazier. One out of the ninth. Franco goes to first. Frazier has not attempted a stolen base this season, but in his brief major league career, he has stolen 37 and has only been thrown out 6 times. And Rondell White has to wait for the first pitch to him. Again goes to first.
Well, Franco is just doing his job. His job is to make sure Frazier doesn't feel comfortable over there at first base and doesn't take any liberties with him, because he knows if he can get the ground ball. With his sinker, it's almost impossible to hit the ball in the air. And he can get the ground ball. He wants them to be able to make the double play without any pressure from the runner Frazier at first base.
Franco has thrown the first 4 times. He still has not thrown a pitch to White. And he steps off, and we can't blame him. As you say, Joe, Frazier has an excellent lead over there.
Yes, he does. Franco, of course, like most stoppers, do not have great moves.
He finally throws a pitch, and it's in the dirt. And Hundley was able to block it. 1-0 on White.
From a hitter's perspective, when you hit against John Franco, you know the ball's not going to be high. You're always going to have a pitch sinking, so you try to make it start at a certain point of your body before you're attacking.
And now it's 2-0. White having a terrific year with the bat at .355. Limited action, 11 hits and 31 at-bats. 3 of his 11 hits have been homers. He's driven in 7, and as a pinch hitter, he's 2 for 6. And Franco throws a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Franco looking into the man who's had a terrific series. White 3 for 5 in the first 2 games of this set. The 2 doubles, and has scored 4 runs in the 2 Montreal wins. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Well, White had a pitch to hit there. It's a high sinker, and he swings through it.
And only 82 miles per hour. Frazier at first and 1 out in the 9th. 2-1 Mets. And immediately following the game, Sports Center comes your way with Dan Patrick and Carl Ravitch. Runner's not going. White hits it slowly to the left side. Vizcaíno safe at second. Well, the Expos aren't exactly coming at them with cannon shots here in the 9th, but they have first and second and 1 out.
Well, you had 2 speedy base runners and a sinker ball pitcher. And if the ground ball's not right at one of the infielders, they always will have a chance to beat it out. See how high this ball bounces. Bonilla was playing close to the line to cut off the double. And you see here, Vizcaíno knows his only play is to second base, but Frazier's there easily. So back-to-back infield hits have given the Expos a chance here in the 9th.
Well, it should have been a hit for White. They scored the play a fielder's choice.
That is not. It can't be a fielder's choice. Well, it's wrong.
Yes. They weren't going to get White at first. He would have had a hit. They had no choice. They weren't going to make the play at either base.
Exactly. They didn't have a choice. Right.
Lansing has walked twice and lined to third. Now the tying run is in scoring position at second. And the go-ahead run is at first. And Lansing hit a 3-run homer on Friday night and hit another 3-run homer yesterday. And he's up with 2 men on here. And his team down by a run in the 9th. Franco way outside. A ball and a strike on Mike Lansing. The 1-1 pitch. Chop foul. And Franco's ahead of Lansing 1-2. Cliff Floyd is scheduled to follow, but Shane Andrews has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Floyd. Shane. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned the 3-run homers in the last 2 games for Lansing. That's a surprise. His first homers of the season, and he started this season with only 8 career major league homers in 247 games. The 2-2 pitch. Down the line, foul, and not by much.
Franco keeps throwing the sinker, which he does most of the time. You will get a ground ball. And if you're the Mets, you just hope it's at one of the infielders.
They haven't had the ball out of the infield here in the 9th against Franco. The first batter, Kelly, grounded to short on a close play at first. Then Alou had an infield hit on a chopper to short. Vizcaíno double clutch, didn't get him. Frazier came on to run for him. That's a base hit. Frazier scores the tying run. It's 2-2 on a clutch hit. Still another clutch hit of this series for Mike Lansing. And once again, Dallas Green watches his bullpen give up a lead.
Number 11, Shane Andrews.
It's a sinker out over the plate, and good hitting here by Lansing. You see the ball tailing away from him. He just goes right back through the middle with it. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. They really didn't have a shot at Frazier. Butler comes up and throws towards the plate, but no chance to get Frazier. And the other runners hold at first and second.
Now Scott's off the hook for the loss. If they can push another run across here, he might have a shot at a win. Shane Andrews hit it to second. It was not caught in the air, and they cannot turn the double play. They eliminate Lansing 4-6. Andrews safe at first on the fielder's choice. And now the go-ahead run is at third with 2 down. Rondell White advanced to third on the play.
It's right in between hop, and he catches it. You can see clearly that he trapped it. And the throw to second base, he had to wait for Vizcaino, and the throw to first base not going to be in time anyway. So runners at first and third now with 2 down.
And Sean Berry is the batter.
This will be the second blown save of the season for Franco. And the staff has 4, we mentioned, so this is their 5th. They were 4 out of 8, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
they were.
So this would be the 5th.
And still the Expos haven't had it out of the infield in this inning, but they have a run in and runners at first and third with 2 outs. They have had 1 hit out of the infield, rather, the base hit by Lansing.
It's a ground ball, though. You're
Yes,
right.
it was. They hit it in the air in this inning. 2-0 the count on Berry. Berry drove in the first run back in the 5th with a sacrifice fly and walked last inning. The 2-0 pitch. He swung at ball 3. Their half of the 9th. The Mets have Hundley, Franco, and Segui due up. Berry might have hurt himself on that swing.
Yes, he did. He grabbed his wrist.
Oh. And he recoiled in pain as the trainer grabbed his left arm and wrist.
You mentioned very severe pain. I don't think, obviously, he can't hold it back.
And that'll be it for Berry. He swung at a 2-0 pitch well out of the strike zone and hurt his left wrist, it appears.
Yeah, you can see that he had his wrist taped, and he has a wristband over it, so it's covered the tape. And you can right there. Well, maybe it's his thumb.
Yeah.
Is it something on his left hand? Definitely is hurting him. Because if it would have been his wrist, I think he would have let it go sooner. But in any event, he is hurting, and he is out of the ballgame.
Mark Gressolonic is going to come up to bat for him and inherit the 2-ball and 1-strike count. So here's Gressolonic, who's seen plenty of action at third base this season and is at .308. 8 hits and 26 at bats. The go-ahead run, Rondell White at third. And Shane Andrews at first. 1 run in here in the 9th. The Expos have tied the game at 2. And it's caught. Gressolonic hit a soft liner. Vizcaino is able to handle it. And we head to the bottom of the 9th. The Mets and Expos tied at 2.
So he's going away with Avis. Again. He'll probably get the Where To GPS so he can find all his precious fancy coffees and driving ranges on his business trip. Fine. That's the way he wants it? Fine. Forget about him. You don't need him. Did he just look back? I think he looked back.
Where To GPS can find anything from a driving range to a latte. Just one more reason Avis is your other car.
How many expensive disposable razors or blades do you throw away every year? 30, 50, more? Isn't it time you got the one razor you can use forever? The Infinity Razor. Twin blades forged from carbon-injected steel and fused with rugged tungsten carbide for a razor that never loses its edge. In fact, if the Infinity Razor ever stops giving you a smooth, comfortable shave, we'll replace it free.
I've been using my Infinity Razor for 5 months.
Even after we use this Infinity Razor to shave this sandpaper clean, it can still shave this delicate balloon.
Don't tell my husband. but I use his Infinity razor all the time, and he doesn't even notice.
No more dragging, no more nicking, because Infinity is the one razor that stays sharp forever to give you a lifetime of smooth, comfortable shaves.
The Infinity razor is the best razor I've ever used, and the best money I've ever spent.
How much does it cost for the last razor you'll ever buy? Just $19.95. Plus, call today and we'll include a second Infinity razor absolutely free. It's perfect for traveling. Or since you'll never need another Infinity razor, you can give one to a friend.
I bought the Infinity razor for my guy, and I loved his smooth, close shave so much, I had to buy one for myself.
Now she won't have to because you'll get a second Infinity razor free. And that's still not all. Call now and you'll also get the Razor Sharp Infinity Micro Trimmer, a $15 value, absolutely free. Plus this fogless mirror, a $20 value. That's a total value of over $74. Yours for only $19.95. You'll also get 2 guarantees, a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee, and our exclusive lifetime replacement guarantee.
So call 1-800-496-9068 now for the last razor you'll ever buy. The amazing lifetime Infinity razor for $19.95 plus shipping. Call 1-800-496-9068 and get a second Infinity razor, the Infinity Micro Trimmer, and our fogless mirror free. That's 1-800-496-9068. Call now.
It wasn't until he faced death that he had the greatest season of his life. Robert De Niro in Real Classics Bang the Drum Slowly, 8 Eastern Sunday on ESPN Classic.
Jeff Shaw is the new pitcher for the Montreal Expos. Tim Scott departs. There seemed to be some confusion on the Montreal side. Scott actually walked out to the mound, threw a couple of warm-up tosses, thinking he was going to pitch to the Mets in the bottom of the ninth, and then all of a sudden Shaw appeared on the field. He took the ball out of the hands of Scott and started his warm-up tosses. Shaw making his 9th appearance, 0-1 with the ERA that you saw of 7.15. And plenty of changes in the field for Montreal, made necessary by the maneuvering by Felipe Alou. In the top of the inning, Mark Grzelcyk stays in the game at third. Shane Andrews remains in the game at first base. Lou Frazier still in the game in left field. And Tim Spear is the new catcher. Grzelcyk at third, Andrews at first, Frazier left, Spear behind the plate, and Todd Hundley to lead off the bottom of the ninth for the Mets in a 2-2 game. Hundley has had a good night in what has otherwise been a pitcher's duel. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles and a strikeout. All of his at-bats were against the starter, Butch Henry. Pitcher scheduled next, Franco, but there's a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle. Billy Spires is waiting to bat for Franco. Franco sitting alongside Saberhagen. Just joining us, Saberhagen started and pitched very well. Shaw's first pitch, a ball. Shaw's the third pitcher of the night. Butch Henry, the starter, went 6 1/3. Then Tim Scott. Now Shaw, his 81-mile-per-hour pitch swung out and missed by Hundley.
That was a split finger fastball he threw.
Shaw, 6'2", 200 pounds, 28 years old, from Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Challenged him upstairs at 91 miles per hour, and Hundley sent it to the backstop, a ball and 2 strikes. Shaw, former first-round draft pick of the Cleveland Indians way back in 1986. And he gets Hundley for strike 3. First out of the bottom of the ninth.
High fastball after a splitter. This looks like a very difficult pitch to hit. Throw a splitter, it's down, and he comes back with a high fastball up and out of the strike zone with 2 strikes. That's
Pitch hitting, number
Best pitch in
19,
baseball.
Bill Spires.
Now Bill Spires to bat for Franco. Been up 8 times this year with 1 hit. It was a single. All of his at-bats have come as a pinch hitter. Two the score with 1 out and the base is empty in the bottom of the 9th. 1 ball on Spires, the former Milwaukee Brewer. Sports Center is on deck. They'll have the NBA and NHL highlights, complete roundup all of today's Major League Baseball action. 2 balls and no strikes. Count goes to 3-0. Veselanic has been in on the grass at third, thinking that Spires might try to drop down a bunt. He's backed up a step now with the count 3-0. That's ball 4. So the winning run is at first for New York with 1 out in the 9th inning. And with David Segui coming up.
David Segui.
Well, we'll see if Dallas Green wants to take any chances here. Maybe a hit and run. David Segui hits the ball to the left side pretty well. Good hit and run situation. Put a little pressure on the defense.
He came up as a pinch hitter for Otero in the 7th and popped out to the third baseman in foul ground. Ball 1 outside.
All of a sudden, Shaw can't find the plate.
Throw to first. Spires has not attempted a stolen base this year and doesn't have blazing speed. Swiped 7 bases last year. Limited action for Milwaukee and his entire career in the Milwaukee organization prior to being claimed on waivers by the Mets in October. Two the score. Winning run at first in the 9th. For New York with 1 out. Spires is there. He drew a throw. He, the son of Diego Segui, former Major League hurler. Shaw goes to first again.
A lot of times, if you miss with the first pitch, the manager will put a hit and run on, although they're changing the sign now because of 2 close plays at first base. They may be changing and taking it off, but they definitely changed the sign.
You saw Eversgerd and Cornelius. Brian Eversgerd was the left-hander. Reed Cornelius, the right-hander, throwing in the Montreal bullpen. The 1-0 outside. All of a sudden, as Joe said a moment ago, Shaw has no idea where his pitches are going.
Now, I'm going to watch Mike Cubbage at third base. He's coming down, getting everyone's attention and going through the signs a little slower now.
Saw them being relayed out to bench coach for Dallas Green.
2-0 is normally a good hit and run count, but if a guy is missing the plate badly, you don't want to bail him out by putting the hit and run on and forcing the hitter to swing. But a good count to hit and run.
Spires does go, and Segui lined it foul.
I like that because, see, I believe in forcing the defense. And you do that by opening up holes and putting runners in motion. And so you put more pressure on them now because they know that you'll do it. There's Bobby Wine. He says he got the pitch, he didn't hit it.
Yep. You see Segui shrug as he looked down at Mike Cubbage, the third base coaching box. In the dirt, 3 balls and a strike. Now Shaw's in danger of walking Segui and issuing back-to-back walks. Put the winning run at second with Joe Orsulak on deck.
And this is a situation where a manager has to know his hitter real well. Obviously, it's a very good hit and run count, but you do not want him to swing at ball 4. So if he knows the hitter will say, I got to get a strike to hit, or else I take the pitch, then he'll go ahead and put the hit and run on again. So it's the confidence that you have in your hitter now, because you do not want him to swing at ball 4, protecting the runner.
Runner does not go, and Segui popped it foul and out of play to the left. Now do you definitely have him going on 3-2?
I definitely have him going 3-2. And see, 3-1 is a little more difficult because you just do not want him to swing a bad pitch to protect him. Now 3-2, he says he's hitting anyway. He's got to swing at anything close anyway.
Bill Spires, the runner at first, with a 1 out, bottom of the 9th, 2-2 the score. He goes on the 3-2 to Segui, sliced foul.
I don't understand the Expos on this play. They're having Will Cordero cover. Every ball that he has hit has been to the left side, even the foul ball when he wasn't running. So why do you have the shortstop cover? The second baseman should be covering. It's obvious that Segui can't pull Shaw's fastball. And the only place he can hit it is through the hole on the left side. And you're opening up the hole for him. This is where you need a veteran on the infield who calls the signs. He says, no, I'll cover in this situation, because the second baseman should be covering.
Spires goes. Again, it's Cordero who covers, and he's waiting for Spires. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. And that ends the inning. We head to the 10th at Shea Stadium. Montreal and New York tied at 2.
Excuse me. A1 on a burger?
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Could I borrow that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Every Thursday night on ESPN Classic is Fight Night.
Look at that. Did you hear that?
Now with rarely seen Showtime clashes featuring modern rivalries.
Revenge! Redemption!
Non-stop action.
Hanging away with the left. Scoring at will.
And the champs who always deliver.
Here comes Ricky Hatton.
From the Showtime archive.
He's going in for the finish. He's over!
Championship Boxing. Thursdays at 8, only on ESPN Classic.
Steroids can really damage your body. They can cause tendons to tear and bones to stop growing, damage kidneys, destroy the liver, even cause heart attacks and strokes. Not to mention something else they can do to a guy's body. Find out more about the dangers of using steroids. Visit drugfree.org.
Life for Chris, 47, is his wife, Ellen, their daughter, Julie, and their son, James. Chris is a contractor. Ellen works for a home developer. They had some life insurance, but knew it couldn't cover the family's expenses if something happened to either of them. Then within a month, 2 friends died. No life insurance. Chris got the message. A friend said, call Select Quote. They comparison shop the highly rated term life insurance companies they represent and save you plenty. Chris called and was delighted to learn he could get a $350,000 policy for under $27 a month. Ellen could get a $250,000 policy for under $18 a month. Life is too precious not to protect. Call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. Select Quote. We shop, you save.
Heading to the 12th inning. Expos and Mets tied at 2. Hits still even at 7 each. And a new pitcher for the Mets. Jerry DiPoto comes on. He is the 6th pitcher of the night for New York, making his 7th appearance of the season, all in relief. And he has struggled, as the numbers you have seen indicate. 13 hits and 9 earned runs allowed in just a 7 1/3 innings pitched. The opponent's hitting .382 against him. Well, they announced the attendance at 14,300 paid. That's not the actual in-house. We thought it was less than that. And now 1,000 maybe?
Maybe.
That includes us. We all sit still for a minute. We could count. DiPoto's first pitch to Tim Spear. Well, there's a way to stay dry. Concession box. Looking at that umbrella in front of him rather enviously, though, wasn't he? He's admiring it from afar. They're all here, the box heads.
Well, maybe they're selling the boxes now instead of the hot dogs.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. 0-2 the count. Spear, in his only at bat tonight, walked in the 10th against Minor. Well, hey, that guy, he's tough enough. He doesn't need a box.
True Met fan right there.
Well, he's looking around for the box, I think. Ooh, close pitch. DiPoto wanted it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spear on the top of the order. Carrasco and Cordero in the 12th. Really can't complain too much about the Mets bullpen tonight. And it was their big gun in the bullpen, Franco, who squandered the lead. Other than that, the others who have pitched emerged unscathed. Henry, Gunderson, Minor, and now it's DiPoto, the former Cleveland Indian.
Well, he started off with a fastball, got ahead, and he's missed with 3 breaking balls. And now the count is full at 3-2.
DiPoto's another guy in danger of being removed from the roster when they shrink tomorrow. He's out of options. Line to hit. And that might scoot to the wall. It will. Cut off just in front of the wall by Segui. He threw from the base of the fence and had no chance to get Spear, who has a double.
Right fielder.
Well, DiPoto got ahead in the count and then ran it full to 3-2 and had to throw a strike. And this ball is just drilled up the gap. Spear lines it over the head of Vizcaino, and it goes almost to the wall. Actually, a good job by Segui to cut it off, but by the time Segui gets it back in, easy double for Spear. And now you decide what you want to do if you're Felipe Alou. You have Carrasco up. You say to him, pull the ball for sure, or do you make him bunt? He came into the ball game hitting over 400, so you know he can get some base hits.
They're going to walk him intentionally.
Well, if they do that, they may be playing right into the hands of the Expos. Well, because now you're going to be able, I'm sure with Will Cordero, a right-hander up, they will probably go ahead and bunt.
Yep. Here's Cordero on deck. The top of this order, the top 2 hitters, Carrasco and Cordero combined 0 for 9, and neither one of them has hit the ball out of the infield.
I think in this situation you make Carrasco do something. They're not going to do that. And because what's going to happen now for sure is that Cordero is going to bunt.
And they'll try to get it to second and third with Roberto Kelly coming up.
That would be my educated guess. I'll say that.
And thinking even beyond that, that does give Dallas the option of walking Kelly to load the bases with one out and pitch to Frazier, who is now behind Kelly.
It's very difficult to double Frazier. Well, let's see how they do it.
Yep. Well, the Mets think that Cordero is going to bunt. They're in tight at the corners. And as we mentioned, Cordero hasn't had it out of the infield. 4 groundouts and a strikeout. He's 1 for 15 in this series. He bunts. Not a very good attempt.
Not a very good attempt in the wrong way. First of all, in this situation, you need to bunt the ball to the third baseman. Make Bobby Bonilla field the ball. If you bunt it to the first baseman, they're going to have a shot at third base. Now watch, he's bunting this ball to first base. See, that would have gone towards first base. You have to bunt it to third base unless you deaden it down the first base line.
That one goes toward third. Much better attempt. Bonilla on the run. Throws to Kent covering. It's a sacrifice 5-4. And now 2 men in scoring position with 1 out for Montreal in the 12th and a 2-2 game.
Good bunt this time by Cordero. He squares around in plenty of time and bunts it down the third baseline. That's what you want to do. Make Bonilla feel the ball, and he does so quickly, and he makes the play.
And they will walk Kelly.
Right.
To load the bases. Try to get out of the inning with a double play of Frazier. Maybe hope that he might strike out or pop it up. Certainly at this part of the order behind Kelly, the Montreal lineup isn't as ferocious as it was when they had the starters Alou and Fletcher in these 2 spaces. Now it's Frazier and Fonville. Sean McDonough, Joe Morgan. We hope you're enjoying Monday morning baseball here on the East Coast. 12:03 local time.
Left fielder number 7, Lou Frazier.
Still Sunday night in the rest of the country. Spear, the runner at third. Tarasco at second. And Kelly at first. Infield in for the Mets all the way around with a 1 out. Top of the 12th, 2-2 the score. The hit's 8-7 for Montreal. Lou Frazier. He's batted once. He bounced to short in the 10th. That was against Minor. Came in as a pinch runner in the 9th for Lou and scored the run that tied the game at 2.
If you're Frazier, you sit here and say, okay, I'm going to sit on a fastball up so I can get it into the air. The last thing you want to do is go after a sinker and hit a ground ball to one of the infielders.
The 1-0. Swings away and lifted it, but out of play. To the left, that was a 91-mile-per-hour fastball from Jerry DiPoto.
Yeah, that was a good pitch to hit to try to get the runner home with. Ball was up a little bit.
Pitchers due up next. And there's a strike. 1-2. The only remaining non-pitcher for Montreal is Tim Laker, and he's on deck.
You have to give DiPoto credit because he made the pitch he had to have. He threw a curveball for a strike. Now he's ahead in the count.
Strike 3.
Yeah. The second pitch was the important pitch, the curveball for a strike. And then he busted the fastball back on the inside corner. And you see the target by Huntley, and he hits it right on the inside corner. And that's Dallas Green. Reactions.
He's quite happy about it, and understandably so. So the last non-pitcher available to Felipe Alou is Tim Laker. Batting for the pitcher Cornelius. He's been up 19 times this year with 3 hits. One of them a home run. He's driven in 3 runs. No official at bats as a pinch hitter. Bases loaded. 2 outs. 2-2 the score in the 12th. Spear at third. Carrasco at second. And Kelly at first. You know, on our radar gun, we get a reading on how quickly the catcher goes to the mound. 2 miles
2
per
miles,
hour for Hundley.
Right.
We don't seem to be getting him going back unless he's still going at 2, which is possible. That might be the speed limit between the plate and the mound, for all we know. It's not posted.
It's about this late at night. It is the speed limit.
Laker looked at the ball. This game is past the 4-hour mark now. Wow, 91. That popped into the mid of Hundley. The fastball from Dipoto. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A high fastball and good pitch there by Dipoto. Laker didn't have a chance on that one.
Dipoto's a New Jersey native. Went to high school in Toms River, New Jersey. Then went on to Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU. Fouled off to the right. Well, the Expos have had their chances late in the game. They left 2 men on in the 9th. 2 more in the 10th. Got 2 base runners on in the 11th and stranded 1. And now they have the bases loaded. Loaded the bases with 1 out. But then Frazier struck out. They're still full with 2 outs, and Laker in the hole 1 and 2. The 1-2 from Dipoto outside. And this group at Shea Stadium roaring at home plate umpire Charlie Williams, who's had a very good night, we should point out, calling the balls and strikes. This umpiring crew has done a terrific job. Dipoto steps off. Chopped back to the mound. Dipoto made the play, and Dallas Green's maneuvering worked just as he hoped it would in the top of the 12th. Bottom half of the inning upcoming, still tied at 2.
Well, I was shopping for a new car. Which one's me? A cool convertible or an SUV? Too bad I didn't know my credit was whack, cause now I'm driving off the lot in a used subcompact. F-R-E-E, that spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Saw their ads on my TV. Thought about going but was too lazy. Now instead of looking fly and rolling fat, my legs are sticking to the vinyl and my posse's getting laughed at. F-R-E-E, that spells free. Creditreport.com, baby.
Offer applies with enrollment and triple advantage.
Here at the phone company, you've been our customer for a long time. Now Vonage wants to change all that.
Well, over 2 million people have already switched to Vonage.
Oh, really? Don't they miss having phone service?
Actually, with Vonage, you get the #1 rated digital phone service with unlimited local and long-distance calls, all for just $24.99 a month.
Unlimited for $24.99 a month?
Sure. With Vonage, you can make all the phone calls you want for about $1 a day. What do you charge?
It's simple, really. It starts with different basic rates, long-distance fees, and of course, different packages have different features. And some people, actually, I got some charts back in my office. Like
Vonage has over 25 features, and they're included for no extra charge.
All this for only $24.99 a month?
One low rate with savings up to $300 a year. Can your phone service do that? Don't take my word for it. Listen to his former customers.
For me, Vonage is everything I want in a phone service.
It's dependable. It's perfect.
No nickels and dimes like the phone company.
No hidden fees, no sticker shock when you get your bill each month.
I have no complaints. I'm like, woohoo!
Okay, so Vonage has great service at a great price, but making a change is hard. And for over 100 years, the only thing we've changed is...
Your prices?
Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free. Enjoy clear digital phone sound quality using your high-speed internet connection. And setting up Vonage is easy. Or if you don't have time, we can come to your house and do it for you. And with Vonage, you get to keep your number for life.
At Vonage, you'll always talk to a real person, no matter when you call. But what happens if you try to reach those guys after hours?
You have reached us after business hours. But your call is very important to us.
Please call back.
Goodbye.
Call 1-800-866-0798. That's 1-800-866-0798. Or go online to betterwaytophone.com.
2-2 the score, bottom of the 12th upcoming. The Mets will bat against the 6th Montreal pitcher of the night. He is 21-year-old rookie right-hander Uget Urbina, making his second major league appearance.
Guess what his nickname is?
Oogie.
Oogie. That works.
That's right. He's from Caracas, Venezuela. Signed as a non-drafted free agent in July of 1990. Has made the jump from Double-A to the major last year in Harrisburg and was a starter there. Went 9-3. His only previous major league appearance was May 9th. He pitched 2 innings and allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, including a homer to Charlie Hayes. And his first pitch to Joe Orsulak is a ball. Orsulak, and then the top of the order, Butler and Vizcaíno. Joe Orsulak single to right, leading off the 10th, and was stranded at 3rd. Mets also got a leadoff single last inning. Couldn't get the winning run across, and that's a pop-up. Lansing. 1 out in the 12th.
Center fielder,
the 12
number
pitchers in the game. Each team
Butler
has used 6. Kevin Malone made an interesting point. We were talking with the Expos general manager before the game. Brett Butler is the batter, still looking for his first hit, 0 for 4 with a sacrifice bunt. He said he thinks players that might have been hurt the most by the strike and then the shortened spring were young pitchers who were on the 40-man roster. Guys like Urbina, who probably would have been in the minors, and he was in the minors when the year started. But they're on the 40-man roster, so they didn't report the spring training.
Right.
He says several of their top minor league pitchers are just now getting up to speed down there in the minors. They came to camp with the major league team, then went to the minors. Well, after the minor league season had started, they were catching up to everybody else down there.
Well, they were definitely hurt by the, Players Association asking them not to go.
Mm-hmm. Last season was Urbina's first full season at the Double-A level. He overcame tendonitis in his right shoulder to have a terrific year. He also had to overcome a terrible family tragedy in May. His father was shot to death during a robbery at his home in Caracas in May of last year. Butler bunts a good one. And he is out. Nice play by Gresselanek. He had to charge hard and throw on the run for the second out of the inning.
Excellent play by Gresselanek, but he was playing in, protecting against the bunt. See how close he is? And he sees right away that Brett's going to drop it down. This is still an excellent play because he gets rid of the ball in the next step very quickly and very accurate.
And Butler out by a running step. So 2 down and the base is empty for Jose Vizcaíno. He took a 91-mile-per-hour fastball low. He's 1 for 4, tripled and scored a LeBronia home run in the 8th. The only inning in which the Mets have scored. 92 miles per hour, and ball 2. Deep right center. Roberto Kelly. Oh, terrific running catch.
Yes.
Just to the left of the 396 mark. Vizcaíno hit it a long way into a little bit of a breeze blowing in from right field. Might have kept it in the ballpark. And Kelly was able to run it down after a very long run. Just a step or two shy of the fence. We head to the 13th inning in New York. Expos and Mets still tied at 2.
The perfect hot wire getaway. Shop till you drop. Relax by the pool. At a 4-star hotel for a 2-star price from hotwire.com. When hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them, so you get them at prices lower than any other travel site. Guaranteed. Like 4 stars in Chicago. Travelocity price $179. Hotwire price just $92. Hotwire.com. 4-star hotels, 2-star prices.
HOTWIRE, hotwire.com.
Save big on car rentals too, from $13.95 a day.
Meet the knockout who's fought her way into the mixed martial arts spotlight.
Fighting is raw, and that's why I love it.
Plus, we'll take you behind the scenes as Kobe Bryant teams up with Spike Lee. An all-new E60, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
Tonight on ESPN Classic, at 8, can Gregorio Peralta go the distance with Big George Foreman? Watch what happens in the surprising heavyweight bout from 1970. And at 9, sports best Cinderella stories. See who's number 1. It's all tonight on ESPN Classic.
Sports are great for a kid's body. Steroids aren't. They can ruin tendons in legs and arms. Steroids can stunt bone growth and increase the chances of liver cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Steroids don't make great athletes. They destroy them. Talk to your kids. Need help? Get help. Visit drugfree.org.
I'm going outside the hive. You ready for this, hotshot? Yeah, bring it on.
From the creators of Shrek. Adventure begins with a
Hi.
Joe Seinfeld, Renee Zellweger.
Oh, blue water!
Oh no! Why does everything have to be so doggone clean?
DreamWorks B-Movie.
Homeowners, remember why you got an adjustable rate mortgage in the first place? To keep your payments low. But now that your adjustable payments have shot up, what can you do? Call Countrywide. Refinance to a 30-year fixed. Today's fixed rates are near all-time lows, so you get the low monthly payments you want, and your payments will never change, no matter how high rates climb. We're America's #1 home loan lender. Apply now to lock in your low fixed rate. Call 1-800-641-8404.
First pitch of the 13th inning from Jerry Dipoto. A ball to Mike Lansing. Lansing, Andrews, Resolonic due up against Jerry Dipoto. He's beginning his second inning of relief. He worked out a bases loaded, 1-out jam last inning. 2-0 on Lansing. Bounced past the third baseman Bonilla. He was playing the line, and he'd been playing where he ordinarily would have been positioned. He would have gobbled that up, but guarding the line here in extra innings, he couldn't get to the ball hit by Lansing.
First baseman number 11, Shane Andrews.
Saving play by Roberto Kelly at the end of 12th inning. When this ball was first hit, it looked like it was going to be in the gap. And you see Roberto Kelly runs it down and then runs into the wall, crashes. And that's the Mets players thinking that they had a chance. And, well, just another out.
Hang with him.
Hang in there.
And there's Roberto Kelly, still smiling about it. Andrews was squaring to bunt as the throw went to first toward Lansing. Andrews came into the ball game late, reached on a fielder's choice in the 9th, and his first at bat walked in the 11th against Minor. And again, Andrews was turning to bunt as the throw went to first.
A lot of times pitchers will throw to first base to see if their batter is going to bunt, see if he gives it away. But now Andrews has looked down and got a different sign from Jerry Manuel at third base.
Nice bunt. Bronya applies the tag. Sacrifice 3 unassisted. So the Expos have sacrificed in the 10th, in the 12th, and now in the 13th. They're hoping that it'll pay off for them for the first time in extra innings. Gresselanek 0 for 2 since coming into the ball game. He's lined to short and has struck out. We're in the top of the 13th. Montreal and New York tied at 2. 1 out in Lansing at second. Tim Spear is on deck. And Hundley wants to go to the mound to chat with Dipoto. I assume John Miller will be rolling back in here any moment now after all his daughter's graduation was yesterday.
Yeah, he should be here by now.
That's right. Sure, he's on the way. Must be a very long commencement speaker there at George Washington University.
You didn't have any place to go, did you?
No.
Okay.
Charity golf tournament later today.
Later today, right?
Little pop up. And Bronya couldn't get to it. Had a play. It landed on the field of play, but was a very tough play for Bronya, running with his back to the plate and couldn't get it. Well, he was a quarterback in high school, not a wide receiver. And Gresselanek alive at 0-1. In the dirt, and he'll try for third, and Hundley elects to hang on to it.
That's good base running there because he was off right away. He didn't wait to make sure that the ball got away from Hundley. When he saw the ball going toward the dirt, he got a good jump and made it to third easily. It's a slider in the dirt, and you could see he was gone right away. He did not make up his mind after looking at the ball, and Hundley wisely held it. Best he could have done is just make it close at third, but he could have also thrown the ball away. Good play by Hundley.
And a wild pitch charged to Dipoto. First wild pitch in this game. The infield now in for the Mets. Slapped down to first. Bronya from his knees won't come to the plate. And he just did tag Gresselanek before the bag. He was very casual about that play.
Casual, wasn't he?
The run scores. The Expos have the lead. I don't think Bronya realized how close he was to the bag. And Gresselanek decided to go into a slide there. As casual as Bronya was, he might not have tagged him.
Good play, though, by Bronya to come up with that ball, because Gresselanek hit it hard down the line. Watch the diving stop by Bronya. It's a good stop, but heads up play again. You have to give all the credit to Lansing for good base running on this play. And as you mentioned, I think he didn't really care about Gresselanek after he couldn't get the guy at the plate. He said, oh, well. But good base running by Lansing. He goes right away. This is what you call going on contact. He is running. You're not waiting till the ball goes through the infield. He's gone with the crack of the bat, and he scores. But also good base running to get over to third base. So there's your hero of the moment, Mike Lansing, and also Gresalonic for putting the ball in play.
And now the man who's become their closer, Mel Rojas, warming up in the bullpen. He's taken over that role. John Wetland has been traded to New York. Kent gobbles up the grounder from Spear and throws him out. The Expos get a run in the 13th. And after 12 and a half, Montreal leads 3-2.
Sim.
With the kind of craftsmanship, devotion to detail, and seriously cool stuff that goes into the Mazda 3.
Hey, Mike. Can I have my car back now?
Some people might never want to get out. Mazda 3, designed and engineered the Zoom Zoom way.
Now get 1.9% APR financing on the 08 Mazda 3i Touring Value Edition.
Look at them. You give them the best years of your life, shuttling them around. Then they go away on one vacation without you. And all they can talk about is that Hummer from Avis. I'd like to see that Hummer have to take them to the stupid mall 3 times a day. Actually, I take that back.
With dozens of the hottest cars to choose from, there's a reason Avis is your other car.
I'm with you.
I'm with my fountain of youth.
I'm with my best friend. I'm with my hero.
I'm with the advisor I trust.
With is a powerful thing. A.G. Edwards is now with Wachovia Securities. See what happens when you're with.
Niagara Falls, the ultimate torture test for a deck. The ultimate protection, Thompson's Water Seal. Chosen to protect the most water-drenched decks in America. The decks at Niagara Falls. Thompson's Water Seal. The most powerful protection against water damage, guaranteed.
Modern rivalries, non-stop action, and the champs who always deliver. From the Showtime archives. Championship Boxing, Thursdays at 8 on ESPN Classic.
Sunday, ESPN Classic presents another real classic. It wasn't until he faced death that he had the greatest season of his life.
How can he be so sick and play so well?
Academy Award winner Robert De Niro and Golden Globe winner Michael Moriarty star in a film about friendship and the triumph of the human spirit. Bang the Drum Slowly, a special commercial-free Real Classics, 8 Eastern Sunday on ESPN Classic.
We welcome you back to Shea Stadium in New York. ESPN Monday Morning Baseball heading to the bottom of the 13th. Expos lead 3-2. That has them dancing in the dugout.
Well, a lot of energy here, huh?
Yes. Fans were up and dancing. People who play the music over the PA system, clean innings, and trying to liven it up a little bit. And Mel Rojas will be trying to save it as he comes on. If he saves it, it'll be the first big league win for Ugi Urbina. Rojas has become the closer now that Wetland is with the Yankees.
Well, he doesn't have an easy half inning here. He's got Bronya and Bonilla just to start off with.
And then Jeff Kent due up third. Batters 3, 4, and 5. Bronya has driven in both Mets runs with one swing. The only inning that they scored in was the 8th on the 2-run homer by Bronya. Since only hit 1 for 5 tonight. Rojas, one of the 3 Expos whose arbitration case is still pending. He's 4 out of 5 in save opportunities this season. The only blown save was May 8th, coming relief of Pedro Martinez against Florida. The Expos came back to win that game, and Rojas got the win.
Stand away from the fastball with Bronya. He's throwing off-speed pitches. He's trying not to give him a fastball. But with a 2-1 count, I think he has to.
Base hit. Past the diving Andrews. He was playing the line. And Bronya is aboard with the tying run and nobody out in the 13th.
Third baseman, number 25.
Well, he had to give him a fastball, and here's the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch, and Bronya pulls it into the hole. As you mentioned, the fact that this is a 1-run ball game, they were guarding the line, and Andrews not able to make the stop.
Now the Expos do not expect, it appears, Bonilla to bunt as Gressalonic's behind the bag at third. He is the cleanup hitter, riding a 12-game hitting streak after his single to right off Cornelius, leading off the 11th. This is the third time in the 4 extra innings that the Mets have had the first man on.
Yeah, you don't ask your cleanup hitter to bunt too often.
And they won't hear, it appears. 10th is on deck. Half-hearted swing. He tried to check it. It was much too late. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bobby Bonilla, who manages a smile after that swing.
I remember Sparky Anderson said once, he said, if I have to ask my cleanup hitter to bunt, then he shouldn't be hitting it.
That's right. Rojas with the 1-1. Bounce foul.
Come on, Bobby.
3-2 Montreal. Bottom of the 13th. Nobody out and a runner at first. The runner is Rico Bronya. Tying run at first. Winning run at the plate. Rojas throws it in the dirt. Blocked by Spear. Mel Rojas, 28 years old, from the Dominican Republic, and Wetland might be the best closer in the game, but it's pretty nice when you have a guy like this ready to step in.
Well, he stepped in last year when Wetland was down, so I mean he's capable of, you know, being a stopper. I'm a little surprised at the little times that he's used his fastball tonight. He has a good enough fastball that he can throw it.
The 2-2 is a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and now the count's full. That was in game 1 of this series. Bonilla hit a home run from each side of the plate.
Well, the question here, if you're Dallas Green, do you send Bronya?
Yes, that is the question.
Yeah. He's saying timeout. So now he's going to send the pinch runner in. So that tells you
he's going to run.
Yeah, that he wants to run.
Tim Bogart, who 4.5 hours ago was blowing bubbles in the dugout. Tough to get loose.
Running for Rico
Sitting there for 4.5 hours watching the game. Go in there and run hard. Yeah. Don't get thrown out if he swings and misses on 3 and 2.
And most of all, don't get picked off.
Yes. That would seem to be a clue that he's running.
Pretty good clue, right? So I guess he's answered the question for us.
Yes.
We were wondering.
A clue or a very elaborate bluff. He's not running. Oh, and he hits a double play ball. Why wasn't he running? And he is out at first.
Well, maybe he was just tricking us all.
I mean, but what's the point in that? Well, obviously he's just hoping that Bonilla would hit one in the gap, or that he improved the speed on the bases with any kind of a hit, but he didn't run the runner on 3 and 2, and it's another double play turned by Montreal.
Well, it's a good pitch for Bonilla. Stayed up, and he hits it sharply, but right at the second baseman, and Lansing turns it into a double play.
The third of the night for the Expos. And now it's up to Jeff Kent with 2 outs and the base is empty. 3-2 Montreal in the 13th. Kent swinging for the fences in the hole. 0-2. Expos 1 strike away from their 4th straight win and their 3rd in a row over the Mets. That's down to 3rd. Bresalado throws him out, and the ball game is over. Rojas with his 5th save. He saves it for Urbina. It's Oogie's first major league win, and Jerry DiPoto took the loss. He's 0-1. Bronya, the game's only homer. Time of the ball game, 4 hours and 30 minutes. Final score again in 13 innings, 3-2 Montreal. Sports Center is next. Now for Joe Morgan and our entire ESPN crew, Sean McDonough saying so long from New York.